Once upon a time, in a forest far, far away, there was a mischievous rabbit named Robbie. Robbie was known throughout the forest for his love of pranks and his silly sense of humor. One day, as the sun began to set and the other animals in the forest settled down for the night, Robbie decided it was time for a new prank. He hopped over to the burrow of his friend, the badger, and knocked on the door. "Who's there?" asked the badger, groggily. "It's me, Robbie," replied the rabbit. "I've got a great idea for a prank," the badger, who was always up for some fun, eagerly invited Robbie inside. The two animals spent the next few hours hatching a plan to play a trick on the other animals in the forest. As midnight approached, Robbie and the badger snuck out of the burrow and made their way through the forest, leaving a trail of giggles and whispers in their wake. Finally, they arrived at the clearing where all the animals in the forest gathered each night. Robbie and the badger hid behind a large tree and watched as the other animals settled in for the night. Suddenly, Robbie jumped out from behind the tree, wearing a ridiculous costume and making silly noises. The other animals were startled at first, but then they realized it was just Robbie playing another one of his pranks. Soon the entire forest was laughing and playing along with Robbie's silly antics. Even the normally serious owl couldn't help but crack a smile. As the night wore on, the animals grew tired and began to yawn. Robbie knew it was time to end the prank and bid everyone good night, but as he hopped back to his burrow, Robbie couldn't help but feel proud of himself. He had brought joy and laughter to the forest, and that made him the happiest rabbit in the world. And so, with a smile on his face and a heart full of mischief, Robbie settled down for a good night's sleep, ready to dream up his next great prank.